Hi there, welcome back, or if it's your first time, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I am here to do another brand new focus update. So this is a series where I am trying products from a given brand with more intensity than what I have in the past, either that I have not tried the products or that I really have not given them a fair shot, and I want to really see what it is that I can use and use in different ways, and essentially expand my ability to use colors in different ways and achieve different looks. So the last one, or actually the first one in this series, was Urban Decay. And I used Urban Decay for 21 days and used 15 palettes. And so that was quite an experience. I learned a ton of information by using the lip products, the palettes, and anything else that I had from Urban Decay. And so I decided to turn my focus in the month of May from May 1st to May 12th, onto a few different brands. The primary being Too Faced. So I took everything out of my makeup collection that I had that was Too Faced, and that sounds weird. And I also decided to couple that with Benefit, because I had quite a few products from Benefit that I had not yet used. And I decided to pop in some Hourglass and also a Becca highlighter that I'm so embarrassed to say was a mini that I have had for months and that I had never used. So overall, I used these products. Didn't know exactly how long I would use them. The span of time was from May 1st to today, May 12th. And I am ending it today because I need a change. Not so much in the other brands, but I need a change in the Too Faced stuff. I'm tired of using the same couple of palettes, and I need a change. So I'm going to go over all the products that I used and how often I used them and what I thought of them, pretty much in the way that I apply them. And also want to introduce you to the products that I want to use from tomorrow on when it comes to eyeshadow palettes and other products. And of course, I document all this good stuff, every single product and sample that I use, try, finish, I document through every day. So I can give you some relatively good stats. So here we go. To start off with, I used two different palettes. I used, I'm going to start with primers actually. I had two primers from Too Faced that I was intending to use. One of them is the Hangover, which has been highly touted, 3-in-1. A lot of folks like it. I used to prime and as a setting spray, and I'm just going to put it right out there. It's about the only product I haven't used. I have no idea why I didn't. I have this thing about when it's a small amount to just use one thing and then move on to the next. So I'll keep on using this one, the Porefessional. I like this one. And I'm going to just finish this sample. I just depotted it. I'm going to finish this sample and then move on to the Hangover. Obviously, I don't mind this one because otherwise I wouldn't be using it for this long. So my bad, did not use the Hangover primer, and that was a little bit of a surprise. One of the things that I did use though and finished was a sample of the Shadow Insurance. Is that right side up? Yeah. And the Shadow Insurance I used for 7 days. So this little guy, which I depotted into a container, lasted me for a whole week. I was so surprised. It works fine, works well. The only thing is that there aren't too many eye primers that don't do well for me, so I don't have much of an opinion on it. Moving on, maybe I will cover some face products. I did not use anything, any foundation or anything from Too Faced or any of the other brands. So I will go right into the bronzer, highlight, cheek stuff. So my product of choice was the Cheekathon from Benefit, and I used everything in here. Where's my paper? There we go. Used everything in here. My favorites were definitely the Hoola bronzer, but that's a given. I already like it. I really enjoyed the Dallas blush. I was surprised at how much I liked the Coralista, but I think it's because of all the peachy tones, surprise, surprise, of the Just Peachy and Sweet Peach palettes that I've been using. Rockateur was kind of neat because it had... it's a blush that kind of has a highlight built in, and I enjoyed it for that reason. So this palette I like, and I'm going to continue using as I move into the next brand, because the next brand I don't have really any blushes to go with. So I think that that will be a nice complement. All right. So for the Cheekathon, I used it every single day, so all 12 days. And here is the breakdown. I used the Hoola bronzer 9 times. I used the Rockateur twice, Dallas 7 times, the Dandelion blush twice, Coralista 3 times. So in some cases, I used more than one blush on a given day, but I just noted if I used anything, I just noted it. I highly recommend Benefit blushes and bronzers. I think they're top-notch. They're very buildable. They don't put a splash of color right on your cheek right away. You get to decide how much goes on. So I really like that Benefit for that reason. Another thing that I used from Benefit that has to do with face products and creams was the What's Up highlight, but that's not a surprise because I have this in my project pan as well. So I like this highlight, and I'm looking forward to comparing it to some Cover FX similar sticks. And I also used, now I can't show you because I've depotted, but I've also used the Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. And those two I used a ton, and I like it. I like the What's Up on the bridge of my nose. I like it on the Cupid's bow. I also like it right along the cheekbone. And What's Up I used 11 days out of the 12, and the Quickie Contour I used 7 days out of the 12. So I used those two products quite a bit. Moving on, I did also have the 2 bronzers from Too Faced, the one Milk Chocolate Soleil, and then the other one, the Chocolate Soleil. I'll just show you the two here. The Milk Chocolate one is definitely more my shade, but I was able to use the Chocolate Soleil quite a bit just because, well, not quite a bit, some, because I'm tan from having been in Central America. I was late in my 12 days in using these two, and it's mostly because I kind of forgot about them because I was using the Cheekathon. So the Chocolate Soleil I used, actually I used once, and the Milk Chocolate I used 3 times. But when I used the Chocolate Soleil, I used it a little bit lower in my, just under my cheekbone, and the lighter bronzer up higher. And what that did was it just gave me a little bit more definition in the hollow of my cheek, and it looked really kind of nice. That was just yesterday, in fact. I like them. I like the product. I like the way it's buildable, just like the Benefit blushes and bronzers. Not my experience with all bronzers. I would consider possibly getting one of those if the right opportunity came along. So take it for what it's worth. I kind of liked it. I also used a few times the Ambient light powders, the palette from Hourglass. So this one and the Hourglass bronzer. So quite a few bronzers in this brand focus. And the Ambient light palette I used 3 times with a focus on the incandescent light and the dim light. So I used those 2. And the bronzer I used twice, more in the later part of the project. And I had the same problem as with the chocolate and milk chocolate bronzers. I just forgot about it because of the Chickathon. And you know what? That tells me the Chickathon is a pretty good product, because why would I forget about the other products that are just in the same drawer? And then the Becca Opal highlighter. This is the only Becca product I have. I only used it on the last day, which is today. I have it on my cheek right now, for only one reason. I was too chicken to use it. There's no other reason. I have no idea why. I found it intimidating, and now finally I've put it on and I like it, and I'll be using it again. And I'm going to carry it forward to the brand focus, the next brand focus, just as a more of a comparison, because the other one will have quite a few highlighters, but I would like to just use it a little bit along with this new focus that I'll talk about in a bit. Just because I need to deal with the fact that I was chicken, tried some more, so that's about it. Another, speaking of the Chickathon, another product from Benefit that I decided to use in this brand focus project was the Defined and Redefined Brow. And what I had in here in this whole package, I threw away the stick for the measuring of the eyebrow. I just thought that was so silly. You just use any liner and you're good to go. It had in this package, the 4 products I did use was the Gimme Brow. And it has this spoolie, kind of tiny. So that one. I also used this Brow Vogue Conditioning Primer. So I used those products every day. I think I missed one day in using it. I didn't record those. I used the Highbrow practically every day. And I used that along with the Shadow Insurance. So the base, I used Shadow Insurance. I used this first, then the Shadow Insurance, and then primed my eyelid with the powder. And it worked fine. It really lightens it up, but if you put powder on your eye and then try to use this thing, it's a mess. So definitely needs to be part of the base and then powder products on top. And then I also used Precisely My Brow. This is in number 3, I think. It's got fuzzy stuff on the top. And it's a very tiny brow product as far as a pencil, brow pencil. I like it. It compares to other pencils, micro pencils that I've used. I compared it a little bit over the last couple weeks to the NYX Micro Brow. I think they all work similarly. I don't have a problem with any of them, and I will be carrying over these products to the next brand focus just because I don't have any brow products that I want to incorporate with a couple of brands that I'll be using. So those I used every single day, pretty much the whole kit. Once in a while I forgot the brow product or I forgot the primer 1 or 2 days, but for the most part I used everything. I think we're getting there. As far as mascara, I happen to have a Better Than Sex waterproof from Too Faced. I like this mascara a lot. I like the wand, but truth be told, I am using when I use this kind of a wand, this kind of mascara, it's the L'Oreal Lash Paradise that I use, both the regular and the waterproof, because what I found with the regular Better Than Sex mascara is that because my eyelashes tend to touch the upper part of my eyelid along the brow, it flakes and just leaves a little trail of black dots, and I really don't like that. So this one does not do that though. So I quite enjoyed using it for the nearly 2 weeks that I used it, and I'm probably just going to keep using it in the next brand focus just because I don't have a mascara from the brands that I'm going to be using, so why not continue on. And I also, this was a nice discovery, the Melt Off. this product, the mascara melt off. You put it on, so especially with the Better Than Sex waterproof mascara, this stuff did not budge. You put it on, you wait about 60 seconds, and then you take your makeup off as you normally would, and it just literally melts off and conditions your lashes. I like it. It's a sample. I hope it lasts a long time because I want to keep using it. So that was kind of neat. Let's see what I'm missing here. I've got some, I want to use the palettes or bring the palettes in last. So a couple more things is the glitter. I had a 4-pack of glitters from Too Faced. Look at these two. This one. This is the one I'm wearing today. I know it doesn't look like it, but it's an iridescent pink. So it looks white in the jar, but it's obviously not white. This one is Snow Fairy, not snow, I found out. This one is Tinsel. And this one is Wrapped in Pink. This is the one I should have been wearing today, but you know, hindsight is 20/20. I was trying to go with something that was not too crazy because I've literally never used glitter, loose glitter on my eye before. This is new. This is new, and this really took me out of my comfort zone today. And I used, in order to put it on, I used the Too Faced glitter glue sample. I have also, because I bought this set with those 4 glitters, I have the glitter glue, but I haven't dipped into that because I had the sample to use today. And I like the effect. I mean, it looks really neat, and I will definitely be using the glitters again. I'm so glad I got out of my comfort zone and tried this today. It is so neat. It's so exciting. So after the glitter glue, I have some lipsticks that I used during this brand focus. So I used the Spice Girl lip gloss. That is the one I used the most out of the Too Faced lipsticks. The next one is Sellout. And 3 of 4, the next one is Queen Bee, which I am wearing today. And last one is Peekaboo, which is the melted latex as opposed to melted matte. So those are the 4 that I used from Too Faced, and I can tell you, Sellout I wore 3 times, Queen Bee I wore twice, Peekaboo I wore twice, and Spice Girl I wore 4 times, and I said I liked it the most. I liked it the most because it was a gloss, and I found it actually later in the 12 days. I found it by accident. I probably would have worn it more than 4 of the 12 days, and out of the ones that are more permanent on the lip, I would definitely say that Sellout would be the one that I would reach for the most. They are quite drying, and it told me between Too Faced and Urban Decay, I like the Urban Decay liquid lipsticks more. These are really, really drying, and that's probably why I used Spice Girl 4 days, was just to give my lips a bit of a break, and I have some dryness on this side because of this, but I really want to use them as much as I could. Okay, so we are down to the main event. I used 2 palettes from Too Faced, so just Peachy and Sweet Peach. Out of the 2, I am partial to mattes, but I ended up, so mattes, right? I ended up using the Sweet Peach more. And I could have called it for sure. The reason I used it more, there are more shades and there's a greater shade range. So let me just go through what I liked about the mattes first. I used virtually everything. The only one I didn't use was Peach Meringue, and I think I didn't use it because it was just so light. So maybe if I'm needing it as a base for, oh, I don't know, glitter again, I might do that. But out of the mattes, I was not too, I was not too partial to a lot of the browns. I mean, I have browns all over the place. It was nice to just put all over the lid or in the crease just to kind of, yeah, in order to get to the colors. I liked, let's see here if I can do this. I liked I think that one's called Peach Sangria, and the Peach Punch I also liked. Those are the two. Oh, and yeah, Just Ripe was a nice one too. I really enjoyed going there, and as a base, I did tend to go to Fresh Picked and Just Peachy and Peaches and Cream, just as far as putting it all over the lid. I'm not disappointed by these mattes. I don't think they're anything absolutely amazing, but when I need a nice look, a nice neutral look, I don't mind using this. But I did find that I used this a lot with Sweet Peach shades on top, so I did tend to use those two palettes together. So let's talk about the Sweet Peach. Hands down. Now, okay, let's just talk about a few that I did not use. I tried not to use so many shimmers, so I did not use the purples down here, I didn't use the black, and I didn't use Caramelized here. Now, when I recorded the shades, I can't tell you how often I used each shade, because on this palette, this drove me a little bit crazy. On this palette, the shades are on top of all the shade names are on top of the shades. In the Just Peachy mattes, the names are on the bottom. So I kept making mistakes when I recorded what shades I used, what colors and shades I used, and finishes I used in each one of the eye looks, which really annoys me now because I know I got the names wrong. As well, if you have both palettes and you keep track of what you use, you've got Just Peachy twice. Where is it? Yeah, there we go. So you have Just Peachy here as this color, and then you have Just Peachy as this color. Right there. They're very different. Like, in a way, I would have been less annoyed if it had been a repeat as opposed to two different colors with the same name. That kind of drove me a little crazy. Okay, so out of the, just gonna do this. Out of the colors that are in here, my absolute favorite, because I have so much trouble wearing green because I have green eyes, is this one. This one is, what is it called? Bless Her Heart. I should know it by now. And I used it mostly in here, inner lid, and I can get away with it. And so I was so excited. I really enjoyed it. I got a kick out of Just Peachy. I got a kick out of, this one is Puree, I think. No, Peach Pit. See, that's what I'm having trouble. So I called this one Puree a number of times with this one. It's actually Bellini. Bellini's the color. I really enjoy Bellini. I really enjoy Peach Pit, and got quite a bit out of Just Peachy. So used a lot of the mattes in all over the lid, the crease, and then used shimmer shades more in the mid crease to lower crease and lid. It's a reasonable palette, but I guess because I just didn't use the purples, and maybe I just need to do a look with more of the purples and browns. I just got kind of tired of the shimmery brown, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly, depending on your definition of brown, 5 shimmery browns, and I kind of was going, okay, enough already. So I've used, to my satisfaction, the kind of matte caramelly colors. I've used the green. I've used the pinks that I wanted to use. I liked Nectar, this one on the brow bone. Use that one, and I'm good. I'm good. I feel like I've got a fair sense of these two palettes, and that was the whole point. Along with the Cheekathon, that was the whole point. And so I know how I want to use them. I can still definitely experiment, but I feel like I've got a good sense of it, and that I've really used these palettes. In fact, I used Just Peachy, the matte one, 7 times, and the Sweet Peach 10 times out of the 12 days. So I've got a fair feel for it. Do I want to continue using those palettes? Yes, I like them. I enjoy the smell of them. I enjoy actually all of Too Faced products tend to have a nice smell. The chocolate bronzers are great. And just looking at everything else, and I want to finish up the Quickie contour that I've depotted. I want to continue using the WhatsApp. Actually, that's those two are benefit. I need to continue to use the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette and the bronzer. They were intimidating, just like the Becca Opal highlighter. I'm going to keep using those. But as far as the Too Faced products, I'm satisfied that I've used them. I will definitely keep them in my collection, and I'm ready to move on. Thank you for your time today. If you have any comments or questions on what I'm doing, please leave them down below. If you like this kind of video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Take care.